Recording, and we started recording. Hang on, I need to do a clap. Díobh chuirde is me Shaquiva, and how lucky are we to start something new? This is so weird, okay? I haven't told anybody that I'm starting a podcast, but like this is my therapy. I've decided that, hang on, I think I need to raise my chair slightly. Okay, I think we're good. Apologies if you can hear my chair squeaking in the background, but like this is what we're working with. I'm working with a microphone that I bought when I was 17 or 18 to make singing YouTube videos with. I obviously clearly didn't work out, but that's fine. We move. Yeah, I haven't told anybody that I'm doing this because this was something, like I always do this thing where like I'll start something and then after like a few weeks or a few days I get like not bored, but like it's almost like my ADHD kicks in and I'm like, oh, I'm over that again. The notion's gone. She's just disappeared. Quick little intro, I suppose, from me. My name is Quiva. Okay, Irish name. We know it. We love it. I'm sure that the only people listening to this is like my friends and family, so like you know my name, but like if there's anybody else, I'm telling you right now, it is pronounced Quiva, not Kiva, not Quifa. Quiva, like diva, like queen and diva. Quiva. And like very fittingly, the fact that I've used the words queen and diva, I think that just sums me up. Well, I would like to think that they sum me up. But anyways, this is me basically just wanting to have an outlet to talk through everything that goes on inside my head. Because I have quite a lot and I just feel like I don't get the opportunity to fully let it out. I'm not currently in therapy. I should be. No, don't get me wrong. I absolutely should be. But I'm really struggling to find a therapist. And I have been for the last year or so. So this is like my outlet, and I also should say a huge thank you and apology to my poor mother who has been listening to me for the last at least 6 months, pour my heart and soul out. And she will start billing me. In fact, we have talked about her starting to bill me, so this is my attempt to save money. Speaking of saving money, little background. So it's now 2025. It's January. And for the last 6 months, just before Christmas, I worked 2 jobs. Two jobs. I have a day job, like a during the week job, where I work in advertising. And then I also worked a weekend job. So I worked for 3 months on an ice cream stand. It was like a pop-up thing, I suppose. During the summer, you know, great. Ice cream in London, we love it. It was like New Zealand style ice cream, very cool. Then for the last 3 months, I worked in a bakery, which was great. I was like, oh, this is going to be amazing. The hours are going to be better. And yes, it was. But it also meant that I had no social life. I was up at 6 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday morning. I was exhausted by the time I got home. Also because my day job was like really busy at the time. So it was like a perfect storm. So the fact that I now have a new job, first of all, a new day job, that obviously pays me more because I'm not working a second job anymore. And the fact that I have my weekends back, I need to do something that fulfills me creatively. No, you see, the thing is, my camera, you just stopped recording for some reason. And if you keep doing that, it's going to make my life very difficult. Anyways, we move. So I need to fulfill myself creatively. I made a TikTok a couple of weeks ago about how I really wanted to lean into everything that makes me happy this year. So like I was really big into singing and acting and all that stuff when I was like really young, and I left it all behind a little bit when, not really when I went to college, maybe like halfway through college, definitely when I started working. And I'm like, that's just not good enough. Because the whole point of me doing like a business degree, and this was like an argument that I'd had with my parents over and over and over again, was that I was like, I'm going to be an actress. And they said, Quiva, please just do like a regular degree. And then basically they were saying, just do a regular degree and then you can go off and do your acting afterwards. And I was like, okay, fine. And I ended up doing marketing as per my dad's better judgment, and I did love it. And now I'm here and I work in advertising. Great, cool, fab, love that. But where in that mix did I forget that this was all so that I become, you know, a famous actress or a pop star or a model? You know, I'm supposed to be walking Miami Swim Week. I'm putting that out into the universe. Like crazy. And it sounds vain. I'm so well aware. This is the thing, if my friends are listening, don't worry, I'm actually really aware as to how vain I am. So you really need to start calling me out on this so much more. Because sometimes I forget. But I'm like, also sometimes I really just want to indulge in it. I just really sometimes want to sit back and be like, wow, I looked really good there. And like, not right now, but I looked really good there. Like, I know how to make myself look good. Sorry, the whole point of this episode is to be talking about new things, not old things. So let's dive right in. Please hold while I pull up my Notion app. So I follow obviously quite a lot of people on TikTok. I'm so very chronically online. And one of the people that I follow is this poet from England called Georgie Jones. And I saw that she posted on her Instagram recently like her 25 things for 2025. And I was like, this is iconic. Now, it was beautifully written. It was very poetic. No, sorry, like it was a list of things. But still very poetic, don't get me wrong. So I took inspiration from that and I was like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I'm going to make my own list of 25 things for 2025. So I'm going to read them out. And I have taken inspiration from her, so I apologize if there's any crossover, but she is a genius. So number 1 is to say no more. It's an obvious thing, but actually what I mean is to say yes to me more. And I think part of this is that I am very much a people pleaser, obviously. And I think a lot of us are, obviously. But what I've noticed recently is that obviously like part of being a people pleaser is being a yes person to other people. And a big part of that is not just about saying, oh my God, yes, of course I'll do that. But the other side of that is when you're asked to do things that you really don't want to do, or that you know that you should do, kind of like that you're like, oh, I should do this. Like societally, I should do this. Or I know that my friends and family would tell me, no, you should do this. And kind of push yourself forward. Like I find myself pushing myself forward into situations that maybe I really didn't want to be in, but purely for the reason that I'm like, no, I should do that. And a big one that I found recently actually is that I was on a ski trip last week, and I'm a really big skier. Like I love skiing, and I went out skiing with my friend and her boyfriend because they're like really, really good. And I was like, well, I'm quite good. Listen, I say I'm quite good. I'm probably not as good as I think I am in my head, because I also haven't been skiing in 3 years. And that was part of it. That when I was with them, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm quite nervous, and my ability really isn't as good as it used to be, or maybe what I had built it up in my head to be. And this was like nothing to do with them. This is purely me. But they were like, we're gonna go do a red run. And in my head I was like, you know, I should do that too, because I need to prove to myself that I can do that. And I know that if I was, you know, with my family or whatever, that he would be like, no, come on, Quiva, just do it. Like, you're well capable. You're absolutely well capable. And of course I'm well capable. But when I got to the end of that red run, like, I didn't feel the adrenaline and the thrill that everybody else did. But then the other side of it is I would have gotten FOMO if I hadn't gone. And anyways, I think that's a whole other separate issue. But basically what my whole thing is that I need to start saying yes to myself more and giving myself a break. Like really cutting myself some slack and saying yes to myself more. So last night my housemates went out for some drinks. I was knackered. I could have gone. It was only next door. But I was like, nah, all I really want to do is make dinner, and I want to watch Scandal and, you know, do all of that. So saying yes to myself more. Number 2 is to drink more tequila. I think that's very self-explanatory. But part of that actually is that I'm back on my health and fitness buzz, and tequila is the like cleanest, like purest form of alcohol that you can get, I think. Or at least it's kind of, this is like ED triggering for anybody, so please be warned. But it does have like 0 calories and all that sort of stuff. And technically, because there's no sugar in it, you're not supposed to wake up with a hangover. Like, obviously we all know that that's such a lie, but tequila, I feel like, serves me the best. And this is crazy behavior, but I do drink tequila and just water, tap water, because I'm a bit cheap sometimes and I don't want to pay for the mixer. But I'm not cheap, I just know how to do a cheap night out, and I don't mind suffering for it. Number 3 is to pull back and listen more. There's power in silence. This is something from my dad, actually. So he's always telling me, just pull back, just take a step back, just view everything that's going on in front of you. You don't have to be the loudest in the room. You don't have to be the most interesting in the room. Just observe everything around you. And that's actually more powerful because you get to observe, you get to intake. I feel like because of this, I've become very good at situational reading and reading people's emotions. Such a good skill to have, trust me. Number 4 is to push forward more and stand up for what you believe in. Again, like, you know, it's good to pull back, but also I also need to put myself forward a bit more. So like I mentioned, I started my new job this week and I'm really wanting to make friends, obviously. And I noticed I did a thing this week where I was on a lot of calls with people, and then I saw one of the girls in the office that I'd been on a call with earlier in the week, and we were both standing in the kitchen like making tea or coffee or whatever, and I didn't say hi. And I was like, is this the right moment? I was like, should I do it? What if she doesn't remember me? Don't be dumb. Of course she'll remember you, because you'll just be like, hi, I was on this call with you earlier, we chatted about a few things, this is me, lovely to meet you. Like, that's literally all I needed to say. But I got so nervous. And I'm like, who is this person? Because I'm not introverted. No, I kind of am. But I know how to put myself out there. So I was like, what are you doing? Number 5 is stop being afraid of conflict. Loyal to your friends and family is more important as long as it is justified. This is a really big one for me. I don't like conflict. I really hate it. Unless it's like in work and I'm like, rah, 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 it's somebody else. But again, on the ski trip, we had this incident. We were in a nightclub. Some like girl, I think she was like they were in college, and I don't know if she meant it by accident or if she was just being leery. She chucked her drink all over our group and it landed on my best friend and one of the other guys like really badly, and they got really pissed off. Rightly so, they got really pissed off. But really what made it worse was that they turned around, they were like, what the fuck? And then this girl was like, ugh! Like, she just started basically flipping them off, and obviously it made them more angry because they were like, just say sorry, like what? And my straight reaction was that I just went, I don't want to deal with this, and I like turned around and I was like, I'm not dealing with this. And I was like, why did you do that? Like, that's ridiculous. And we went home like pretty much after that because everybody was in a bit of a foul mood, and I turned around to my best friend and I was like, I'm so sorry that I didn't react. Like, I'm so sorry. And like, because I had been saying to her, I was like, listen, she's just a kid. Like, she's a kid. Like, it's fine. Just leave it be. Like, it's fine. Like, it's just let it go. But then I was like, why did I not react? Because that's really shit thing to do. Like, I need to stand up for my friends more. I think I'm really good at giving advice and being like, no, fuck them, but I like to keep the peace. I'm such a people pleaser, so I need to just get off my high horse a bit more and stand up for my friends more. The next one is I've lost track of the numbers, so Pauls. The next one is to fall in love again. I'm just gonna hold space for that. Just a little hold space for that. I've been in love once before, I would like to be in love again. I haven't been in love in quite a while. It'd be nice, but then that means I have to go on dates, and I don't date. So, like, just come along, you know. The next one is, okay, well, following up from that is have a super dramatically romantic moment. Like, I'm such a heartthrob at, you know, no, not a heartthrob. Like, I love romance. I grew up on Twilight. Like, I binge read Twilight for about 2 years straight. I was a Wattpad kid. Very much a romance novel lover. Please, if you're gonna come along and, like, you know, make me fall in love with you, just give me one really dramatically romantic moment, and then you can break my heart. Like, honestly, if it's like, you know, a big, I don't mind if it's like something small or something big. Like, I don't need some big romantic gesture like a flipping, I don't know, flash mob or like a declaration of, actually, I really don't want that. What I really want is, like, you know, we're in a big fight and oh no, it's so dramatic, and then you show up at my door and your hair's all wet from the rain, and then you just grab me and you kiss me and you're like, it's always been you, Caoimhe, it's always been you. Yeah, okay, pausing there. Okay, next one is to actually pursue my passion, so acting, singing, modelling. I know I said about this earlier, but this is something that I really want to do, and I'm low-key hoping that, like, you know, this is kind of a step in the right direction. Okay, next one is very, I don't know what the word is. Prominent? No. Anyways, continue with something. Don't give up when it gets hard or it doesn't get me the desired results immediately. Yep. I've done this far too many times. I think my earliest memory of doing this is my mum giving out to me because there's food in the fridge that I'd made like a week earlier and I hadn't eaten, because I'd gotten a notion that I was going to make some amazing salad or dish for my lunches, and then by day 2 I'm like, I don't want to eat this anymore. I've gotten better at that. I eat everything that I buy and that's in my fridge because I meal plan meticulously. But like my TikTok, for example, I've started so many things and I finished them. I started vlogging this time last year, like YouTube vlogging with this camera that I'm recording on, and I stopped it after a few weeks because I didn't realize how long the editing would take me, and I was like, ugh, this is so boring and it takes so much time. I'm really trying to not put pressure on myself in terms of, like, because there's a whole thing in my head where I'm like, oh my god, now you have to set up an extra Instagram and TikTok page for this, and you have to have all of these scheduled posts, and you have to create all of these graphics. I'm not doing that. I'm going to edit this, put it on Spotify and Apple and wherever. I might take out a few funny clips and post them, but other than that, I'm just going to let it be, because this is not for views. This is for my therapy and hopefully the enjoyment of my family and friends. Okay, what's the next one? Focus on your health. Rest when you need rest. Work out to release energy and encourage endorphins. And fuel your body properly. No restricting or binging this year. Please. This is a really big one for me. I noticed that in the last couple of months I gained a lot of weight. I mean, I say a lot, it's a lot for me. Part of that was like I completely stopped working out because I was so tired all the time. I was just like really trying to cut myself some slack. I had been cycling everywhere. I stopped cycling. I was literally didn't even have time or energy to do a grocery, so I was getting HelloFresh and then eating for lunch like whatever I could get my hands on. So a lot of that was like, you know, pastries and big sandwiches from the bakery and things like that, so like really unhealthy stuff. And then at one point I was just like, oh fuck it, and I just completely let go and I just started eating anything and everything that I wanted. And I'm somebody that loves food, and I'm also somebody that's had to learn learn when I'm hungry and when I'm not, because I grew up, like my dad used to joke that I was always on like a seafood diet, like I see food and I eat it. So I've always had to I basically had to relearn how to know when I'm hungry and when I'm not. And also, but like a couple of years ago, I also went through quite a big period of restrictive eating, and quite bad restrictive eating, very calorie counting, and no, can't eat that, and didn't get to the point where I was I would always eat my dinner and stuff at home. Like I kind of did enough to keep up appearances. But it was quite a hard mentality to have. I think now, I think I've kind of gotten a bit of a good balance, but like yet to be seen, still very early days. So fingers crossed. And I'm definitely wanting to go back working out. I'm doing a lot of walking at the moment. I'm trying to change the location of my gym membership. So it's all a work in progress. Next one is focus on finishing one book at a time and make the time to actually read it. Yeah, this is a big one for me. They're all big ones for me actually. But like I used to be such a big reader when I was younger. Like I used to go through books like that. And I haven't, like, I think I finished one book last year, which is like ridiculous. The book I'm currently reading, I have it next to me, which is very exciting, is Want by Gillian Anderson. Currently reading this now. I've been reading this since Christmas and it's now kind of middle of January and I haven't even got halfway through it. I do need to make the time to read this, but I also quite often find that when I come in from work and things, like the last thing I want is to sit down and read. But it is such a good book and I definitely need to finish that. And then the next one I think I'm going to move on to is Verity by Colleen Hoover. So fingers crossed. Okay, so next one is get back into learning on the go rather than just music you're not in the mood for. Find a list of podcasts or audiobooks you can easily stick on and not hate. Yeah, so I noticed recently that I just kept listening to the same podcast or same playlist over and over again of music that I knew, and that is kind of like a go-to, like, yeah, you like this, but to be honest, like, I'm really not enjoying it anymore. So, and I feel like it's the same music that I've just been listening to for the last 6 months, and like I haven't like discovered anything new, and I find it hard to discover new music. So I'm just like, scratch that, like stop not enjoying what you're listening to. I used to be a huge fan of Diary of a CEO back during like lockdown and kind of just after lockdown, and that was when he did a lot of interviews with CEOs and talking about, you know, setting up a business and different things like that. And some of his earlier health and wellness and financial episodes were quite interesting, but now I just feel it to be quite a lot. But that was like my go-to podcast. So I've really struggled to find like new ones. However, I have a list of ones that I'm obsessed with right now. First of all is The Wellness Cafe by Trinity Tondelier. Shout out to my friend. I'm not going to name her right now just in case she doesn't want to be, but she's a huge Trinity Tondelier fan. And we've been following Trin's breakup recently. Like I had never overly listened to Trin, but like now I'm like, okay, we're in our wellness, in our doing good things for ourselves era. So I feel like this, and I've really enjoyed her first couple of episodes back. Oh my gosh, I just saw that she uploaded a new podcast. That's so exciting. I'm going to listen to that on my walk later. Next one is a classic, is The Girls' Bathroom. I kind of go through stages of enjoying that and then kind of falling out of it. I think it's just a good one to put on in the background for when I'm just on a walk and I need to listen to something lighthearted. But also if I'm just like zoned out and I'm just like thinking about my own stuff. Can have some very insightful, interesting stuff though, we'll say that. Another one is I'm Grand Mam, very Irish podcast. PJ and Kevin, love them to bits. I think it's just so nice to hear like an accent from home, and just it's just like a bit of fun. Like it's just I don't know, I love listening to their voices, and like they just have really funny like takes on things, or just the way they say things. I'm like, this is just, it just makes me feel very like comforted, you know. Another Irish one is The Girly Whirly Show by Sophie Murray. Again, it's like, it just feels like I'm listening to somebody from home, so I think that's part of the reason why I listen to it. I think sometimes I find her episodes are quite short. Now I say that my episodes are probably going to be quite short, but the other thing is that sometimes maybe I don't quite relate to what she's saying, but it's lovely just to listen to it anyways. And then the last one that I've recently discovered is Happy Place by Fern Cotton, and I've only listened to one episode, but it was the Joanne McNally one, and I thought it was quite good. I actually really enjoyed it. I feel like it's just, I'm going to listen to content that I really enjoy. Another podcast that I do want to start listening to is Begin Again by Davina McCall. I know this is produced by Flight Studio, which is a Stephen Bartlett company. I've been following all their stuff. I'm really interested in his whole like company conglomerate, but Begin Again seems like it has some really interesting stuff. And I know that We Need to Talk by I can't remember his name, but anyways, he's the relationship like expert. He's on maths and celebs go dating, I think, and things like that. And I feel like I will end up listening to his podcast at some point, maybe when I find myself like, I don't know, in a relationship or in a heartbreak or something. Moving swiftly onwards. Go to more Irish events, rugby matches, Irish in London, Gaeilge. Be proud of my culture, not trying to be a solo Irish gal, and practice your Gaeilge more. Well, do I have a story for you? So when I moved to London, I moved by myself and I moved in with English people. And when I started my job, I was like the only Irish girl. So I created this identity for myself as being like the token Irish girl. And it was amazing. I loved it. People were like, oh my God, you're Irish. Oh, hi. And I'm like, yeah, I am. Yeah, my name's Caoimhe Ní Ghoul. Yeah, really fun, flirty Irish name. Like, I was just special. But also detrimental because I realised, I don't have an Irish community here, and that actually would really help my mental health. Now, I do have a couple of Irish friends here. One in particular is a really good friend of mine. We're hopefully going to start running this week. And we're going to go to the cinema tomorrow, and I'm so excited because we're going to go see the new Florence Pugh film. Sorry, I have to remind myself to slow down talking. But we found this Instagram page called Críocha Gaeilge that's like organises these meetups for people to come and practice their Gaeilge. Irish, for anybody that doesn't know. The Irish language. Gaeilge is the Irish language. Apologies. So I went to one yesterday. I saw that they had their first event of the year, and it was in collaboration with Irish Running London or something like that, and they were just going to do like a 5k run and a shoe lounge, a walk. Thank God, because I looked at it and I went, oh fuck, no, I'm not a runner, but I really want to go. And then I saw they were doing a walk, so I was like, right, okay. It was in Regent's Park, which I'd never been to before. Stunning. I cannot wait to go back and explore it more. I really want to go when the weather is like beautiful, do you know, because I love like South Kensington because it's got all of the big beautiful white houses, very posh area, like I love it. So I went, and there was like 40 people there. I was like, this is insane. And like I'm a Gaeilge girl. Like I went to a Gael school, and I was so excited to go. I'd like sent it to a few of my Irish friends that I know are living here, but they were all busy. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go by myself. I'm going to make some friends. And do you know what? It was really good. Really nice opportunity to practice my Irish. I suppose whenever I get to these events by myself, I always find I'm having the same conversation over and over and over again. And it is draining. I also got very cold on the walk. So it would be lovely to go to these events again and again and again and build up a little bit of like a little group of gals or group of people that like I know, and that we can go and we can just have a bit of a yip yap in Irish and just get more comfortable like going to these things, and bring my other friends with me because I know that they have an interest in going. But I need to do these things more. I need to make the time to do these things more. On that, more sport. Tag rugby matches, swimming, etc. So like outside of working out, so there's a swimming pool, like a Lido near me. I need to go swimming in that more. We did tag rugby during the summer. That was really good fun, but I actually didn't go to many of them because I ended up like not being able to. So I need to do that more. And I also want to go watch more sport, like in pubs and things. It's just a great social event. Next one, gratitude. Listen, I wrote gratitude because I was like, I know I should write gratitude. And I used to keep it. So I said gratitude being a journal or a moment or noticing something nice. We need to practice it every day. I used to keep a gratitude journal. And this was something like, you know, instilled to me like by my mum. And I haven't kept one in quite a while. And I don't really have an interest in keeping one. I think I just really need to have the want to like focus on gratitude. I'm very grateful for everything, but like to really like take a moment for it right now just really isn't in my plan. It will someday, but like I feel like I've got so many other things I'm trying to focus on right now that gratitude is just something unconsciously that I'm doing anyway. So let's just leave that at that. Okay. So I need to bottle up that feeling from my first day of work to remind myself what feeling purely happy and excited feels like. It's too easy for me at the moment to let it be sucked away and fall into a nothing state. So another little scale for you is that I had my very first day of work just literally on Monday just gone. Well, for me, just gone. I don't know when this is going out, so pause. And I called my mum and dad in the evening, and my mum was like, wait, let me get your father because he's going to want to hear this as well. And so they sat me down at the kitchen table, and everybody was like sat around it. They were like, well, tell us now, how was your first day of work? And like, I was buzzing. Like, I hadn't been this excited or happy in a very, very, very long time, and really just was like blown away by like the company. I just felt like I'd opened up this world that I'd never knew existed before, and even there was like small things that I was blown away by. The fact that they have like snacks in their kitchen that we can just take, like, because in my previous place we didn't have that. Like, we had to go down to the cafe and buy our own snacks, or they were like had herbal tea like available for us, and I was like, oh my god, herbal tea. Like, I used to have to bring in my own herbal tea. It's like things like that I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. And my mum, she like said this like really beautiful heartbreaking thing, but she like looked at me, and I think, okay, so I will preface, my hair right now is like short and brunette, and this is the natural color of my hair, nearly. So like the roots are the natural colour of my hair. My ends are a little bit lighter because for the last like 3 or 4 years I had been dyeing my hair ginger, and like a couple of months ago I was like, this is too high maintenance for me anymore, and I was like, let's just go back to my natural colour. And when I was really young, I had my hair like quite short, like kind of like just above my shoulder. So my mum looked at me and she was like, oh, it looks like I have my little girl back. Oh, that broke my heart. And but like broke my heart in a good way and a bad way, because I was just like, wow. And then she was like, maybe it's the hair, maybe it's but I think it was like the mixture of like maybe my looks, but also just that childlike excitement that I had. And following on from that, like, I was thinking about that little comment all week, and I was like, what a lovely thing for me, because I feel like in reflection in the last couple of years, you know, cutting my hair super short and dyeing it red and all this sort of stuff, it was that I really did feel like I was trying to give myself this other identity, or maybe try and be somebody that I'm not, and it was very cool for the time and it did suit me, but it's just not me anymore. And I feel like this period of my life is very much like going back to my roots, like who I am, apologies, I keep like burping, but like who I am and who I am to my core. And like part of that is that I'm now finally in a job doing something that like I'm so passionate about. Like, that's so exciting for me, and I haven't had the opportunity in my career to do that yet. Like, it's all about opportunities to learn and yada yada yada. But then I realized like later in the week, it was like Thursday or something, and they just had given me my like second laptop or something, and finally it was like a MacBook, because we had to like, they originally given me a Windows, and I was like, what the fuck, I don't know how to use this. My manager was like, yeah, no, we're giving you a MacBook. So they finally got me a MacBook, and it was like this chunky thing, and me and my manager looked at each other and we were like, what is this? Like, is this some kind of ancient MacBook from 2004? I googled it. It was 2023 and it had an M2 chip, which it was a better MacBook than actually what I was looking for. So don't judge a book by its cover. But I digress. I suddenly went into a really depressed state, like literally in the office, very depressed state, like really like genuinely on the verge of tears, like couldn't control my emotions. I was kicking myself. I was being so hard on myself, because I was like, can you not just control yourself? Can you not just regulate yourself? Like, this is ridiculous. And I just felt so numb, and I was like, why am I not happy right now? Like, why am I not enjoying myself right now? And I think part of that is I didn't have a lot of people around me. I don't have friends in the office yet. Like, you know, my team most of my team are in another office, so it's hard. But I also hadn't spoken to a human in like 2 hours or something, and I felt I literally knew. I was like, oh, I've entered that nothing state again. And this is not a good place to be. It's when I just go numb. And this is, I'll go into this in another episode, but this is developed from the last couple of months and just things, the way that my mental health has gone. So, you know, it's been difficult, but this is why we have to bottle up the memory of the first day of work and remind myself, like, this is why we're doing it. This is what it feels like. You know, it's okay to go up and down, but it can't be drastic. It can't be drastic like this anymore. We're going to enjoy it, okay? You have to keep reminding yourself, like, why this is okay. You're okay. You're not in a fight or flight mode. You're fine. You're doing okay. You're doing great. And actually, I remembered my mum saying to myself, you need to start talking to yourself like you would talk to your friend. And I kept saying that to myself in that moment. And I was like laughing to her on the phone, like later that day or something. And I was like, I just kept saying it to myself, but mum, I just can't do it. Okay. I just can't do it. Like, I cannot talk to myself like I talk to a friend, but that's something for a therapist to figure out with me. Oh my God, we're running up on time. I need to get through this quickly. Okay, I need to go to more shows. You live in London, for fuck's sake. And this is something that I was on to Datix during the week, and I was like, I can go to see a show for like 20 or 30 pounds. And I'm going to make it a mission that every week I either go to the cinema or I go to a show. By hell or high water, I'm doing one of those things, because it's like a creative outlet for me. It's so exciting. Also, I can get like cinema tickets for pretty cheap, so it's great. And next one is meet up with more people. You've got friends and lots of potential friends. Stop being shy. You're not a shy person. Yeah, I think part of my problem is that like most of my friends live in Dublin, and I've got quite a lot of friends here. I need to make a poster and write a list of all of the friends that I have, because I feel like I forget. I feel like, and this is not a brag, but I feel like I've got a lot of friends in different places, but everybody's very different from each other, and they all have a little piece of me. So I need to like remind myself who I have, and actually, you know, I can integrate, and I can use and some people are great for some things and maybe not so great for other things, but you know, maybe, I don't know, I'm like really waffling, apologies. Find something other than food and other vices as your release. This is part of the whole binge eating thing. I can't just go to food when I'm feeling sad. The other thing, I've gone to like alcohol, and no, not really alcohol, like food definitely is the big one. Really need to stop doing that. I'd love to be that person that like when I'm sad I go for a run. It's not me yet, but we'll see. Get therapy, please, ASAP. I've written to myself, well, this is my therapy at the moment, so you're welcome. But I am trying. I will definitely try. But I had a traumatic experience with a therapist last year. It's hard. I'll tell you about that another time. Go to the cinema more and watch good films, not just the same TV shows over and over. Yeah, similar to the like West End shows. Like I said, I'm going to the cinema tomorrow to watch We Live in Time with Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield. Very excited about that. I have started a new show, Scandal, which I've never watched before, so very excited about that. It's just more that I just don't want to be watching the same crap over and over again. I just heard the door bang. My housemates are out right now, but I'm like, is somebody coming in? No, I think somebody's going out. Spend more quality time with myself and with those I've probably neglected. I can't remember what I was thinking when I wrote this. Is there somebody coming in? No, I don't think so. And see, the thing is, I do spend a lot of time by myself, but I think what I really meant is like, stop spending time by yourself in bed, like spend quality time with yourself, like go out and do something. So today I was supposed to be meeting a friend for coffee, but she's unfortunately sick. So instead I'm actually going to go for a cycle to, I don't know, maybe Westminster area, and then drop my bike and go for a walk and go to this cafe that I literally have been to once before. And it was like not last November, the November before. It was like I just moved to London. And it was like me and my best friend had just come over, and my mum was over for the weekend as well, and me and my best friend were like just looking for somewhere to have a coffee, and we stumbled across this place, and it was like the most magical cafe I've ever seen in my entire life, and all I want is to go back. So that's what my plan is for today. I'm gonna go get a coffee, maybe an almond croissant. It's now 12 o'clock. Like, I need to get a move on because I also have a grocery to do and stuff, but it'll be fine. Host more. You love hosting anything from brunches to drinks to parties. Host more. I need to host more. I do live in a really lovely apartment here, and myself and the girls, like, we do love this place, and we've made it like our mission that this year we want to make it more girly, and we want to like decorate it more, like, so we're all going to purchase some kind of big ticket item, so be it like a print or a rug or cushions or something to make our living space. And for the apartment, like our kitchen kind of living space area, we want to make it, you know, nicer. But you see, our table is also this like tiny little square table, like you literally fit 4 people around it. But I really want to like host more. Like, I love hosting. I hosted this gorgeous like summer party last summer with my friends back home in Dublin. We did like painting, and I made this like really good like spread of food, and it was so lovely. I want to do more stuff like that. Oh, okay, so we're on to number 25. And trust me, this has been 25 things. Okay. Be kinder to yourself, give yourself a break, stop being so hard on yourself, and fully understand what all of this actually means for you. Okay, yeah, this is something I really struggle with. Like, I've had consistent feedback my entire life, which is just be kinder to yourself, like stop being so hard on yourself. I think I expect far too much from myself, and because I'm just like, if I don't, then nobody else will. Like, I need to exceed my own and everybody else's expectations. It's just, I just don't really know how to be any other way. Maybe it's an eldest child thing, maybe it's an overachiever thing, like, who knows. I don't know, I don't really know how to like it, maybe explain it more than that. Like, I suppose fully understand what all of this actually means for you. I think part of that is like, when I'm speaking so harshly to myself, it's like, okay, but you're actually hurting yourself. You're actually hurting yourself more. Like, you are hurting yourself more. And it's okay if you want to spend a day vegging in bed. I know that's kind of contradictory to what I said earlier, but it's okay that if that's what you want to do. Like, it's okay that I wanted to stay in last night and go to sleep. It's okay that I got up a little bit. Like, one thing, like, even I found myself this morning that I was so tired, and I was like, okay, you know, my alarm went off at 9, and I was like, right, okay, you have to get up. And then I was like, oh, I really don't want to get up. So I stayed in bed until 9:30, and it was just the way that the morning went. And now it's 12 o'clock, and I'm like, you could have had your grocery done already. Like, you could have done that already. And I'm like, but why do I do this? Like, if I really think about like the timing of everything, like, you're actually doing fine. It's only 12 o'clock. It is only 12 o'clock. You're doing fine. It's all okay. We're all chill. And if I do one episode of this and then I have no interest in doing it anymore, that's okay too. But we're starting something, and we're not finishing it immediately. So that was my 25 things. And I think I've talked for far too long. I don't know if you can hear, but I'm like very sick at the moment. But I've talked for a very long time now. And I hope you've all kind of enjoyed me like just yip yap on. I'm gonna hopefully continue doing this. I've got so much like to talk about. Like, I'm such a yapper. I've got so much to talk about. I really love listening to the sound of my own voice. So yeah, you know, if you're here or if you're not, great. And thank you so much. I love you all. And don't forget that we are so lucky. Bye.